all of our time, let me take you to the topic which is called as molecules of life. Molecule of life means at the end of the day, every version of matter, whether that version, that thing is living or non-living, every form of matter is made up of atoms. Is made up of atoms. The smallest entity we know. Actually, there are more smaller things present within the atom, but let's try to be basic as a science students. So everything is made up of atoms. The atoms, when they join with each other, they create molecules. So molecule is more like the collection of atoms in different numbers and in different combinations. These molecules then create all versions of matter. So some of those versions of matter are living. Those living material or living matter, is specifically made up of a certain types of molecules which are called as molecules of life. So molecules of life means the molecules which are contributing in creating the life or in creating the living matter. There are many famous molecules and some of them are not very famous, and we will not going to discuss those molecules here which are present in a very small amount and not very famous. But we will be talking about the molecules of life which are present in abundance. And those molecules are universal. They are present in all versions of life. Whether it's a microscopic life, small microscopic life, or it's a big multicellular life. Whether it is made up of prokaryotic cells or they are made up of eukaryotic cells. The first fundamental molecule is water. The second one is carbohydrate. The third one is lipid, and then the proteins, and then the nucleic acid, the magic stuff, the nucleic acid. Actually, all those are the molecules which are constituting life, which are creating life, structure of life, function of life. And this interesting, beautiful thing, जिसको मैंने star दे रखा है, nucleic acid, is apart from the fact that it is constituting the structure and the function of life, it's actually controlling the other structures and other functions of life as well. This special thing is also referred and called as genetic material. If you ask me, pick up the most closely related molecule towards life. If somebody asks me that when I imagine life at a molecular level, what comes in my mind, the answer is nucleic acid. There are two types of nucleic acids. The one is called as DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, very famous. The other one is called as RNA, ribonucleic acid. These things are not the purpose of our lecture today. Okay, but I just want you to understand that there is something very special over there waiting for you to be studied, and that is the nucleic acid. Not only constituting the structure, but also controlling the functions of other molecules. So we will be studying about the water, carbohydrate, lipids, and other things. So there are elements, molecules, and compounds. And most famous elements which are constituting life are carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen, sulfur, and phosphorus. And they are contributing to create different molecules and compounds which are creating life. And one of the molecule, and they actually create proteins, as I mentioned earlier, carbohydrates, lipids, and a very famous one called as ATP or adenosine triphosphate. and that is an energy carrying molecule. And also the nucleic acid, the boss, also the boss, nucleic acid. It's actually controlling everything, every other function of life as well. Okay, so we will be studying those things one by one. Let's start with the first molecule of life, referred as proteins. The first thing you need to understand that most of the molecules of life, most, not all of them, they are macromolecules. Macromolecules, on the other hand, means a polymer. It's a kind of, they are most of them are polymer. If you have studied chemistry at a basic level, you know that polymer is a very big molecule, is a very, very big molecule made up of large number of repeating units, and those repeating units are called as monomers. So every macromolecule is made up of small repeating subunits which are called as monomer. Protein is also a macromolecule, it's also a polymer. So that means it should be made up of small little monomers. The proteins are made up of small repeating units which are called as amino acids. So there are small little things called amino acid which join with each other with the help of a specific chemical bond to create structures which are called as protein. So if you break any sort of protein, any type of protein, into simpler structure, then simpler structure, then simpler structure, ultimately it will be ended up in small repeating units called as amino acids. Every protein, whether it's a protein from the skin, the protein from the nails, is protein from the muscles, is protein present in the corn, is protein present in different plants or other animals, they are made up of amino acids. There are 20 different types of amino acids are out there. There are 20 different kinds of amino acids. Like the alphabets of language. Urdu mein, like in Urdu we have like a lot of alphabets, by the way. In English, like 24, 25, 26, I don't remember. They're like alphabets. So we have 20 basic amino acids, and those 20 amino acids are constant in all versions of life. They're constant in all versions of life. Those 20 amino acids repeats themselves in different numbers and different combination to produce different types of proteins. So, for example, this is one type of amino acid. There are different names of amino acid lies. I don't want to confuse you with the names like aspartic acid, glycine, there are glutamic acid, and valine. You don't need to remember the names at this point of time. So this is like one of the amino acid. This is another amino acid. This is another amino acid. And this is another amino acid. So we have different types of amino acids. There are 20 different types of amino acids out there. So in protein type 1, different amino acids, they merge with each other to make different types of proteins. So this is just one example that these amino acids merge with each other to make different types of protein. In protein number 2, the number and the sequence of those amino acids might be different. So that's a different type of protein. So different proteins are different from each other because they have different numbers of amino acids and they are arranged in different sequence. That is very important. But every protein is made up of amino acids. If you ask me egg protein, the egg protein is called as albumin. White color ki jo hoti hai. Egg protein, which is called as albumin. If you break down albumin, it will be broken down into the smallest units, and those smallest units are amino acids. And there are 20 different types of amino acids are present over there. If you break down the meat, amino acids, meat is a protein, ghost, meat is a protein. It will be broken down into simpler units. They are called as amino acids. And they will going to produce the same 20 different types of amino acids. So that's a very interesting point. So proteins are different from each other just because they have using different numbers of amino acid in different sequences. So the meat present in human body is different from the meat present in the goat. So if you are eating meat from the goat, it will not going to be part of your meat directly. Okay, common sense. So you are eating the meat from the goat. That meat will go into your digestive system. Your digestive system will break down the proteins present in the goat meat and converts it into amino acids. Those amino acids will enter into our body, and our body will going to reconnect them according to our own sequence, according to our own choice, to make different types of proteins. It's like using the same alphabets to create different words and different sentences and different paragraphs and different books altogether. So one protein is different in function completely from the other protein, although it carries the same amino acids. There are two types of amino acids. And now you can also understand that which of the protein is better and which of the protein is more important and less important. If the protein is carrying better amino acids, let me tell you, there are two types of amino acids present. The one are called as essential amino acid. The other are called as non-essential amino acid. When you guys will study the amino acid, you will came to know about the details and names in as well. The essential amino acids, that does not mean they are essential, the other are not. Okay, remember. The essential amino acids are the one. इजान ने हाथ खड़ा किया, रेज किया है. इजान, हम ना सेशन खत्म हो रहा है, मैं रिकनेक्ट करता हूं, फिर आप क्वेश्चन करना, ठीक है? जस्ट नोट डाउन प्लीज.
Okay, sir.
Essential amino acids are the one which must be supplied from outside source, which must be supplied through our food, because our body cannot prepare them. Those amino acids are called as essential amino acids. That means we should get those amino acids from external sources. Non-essential amino acids are equally important in life. They are equally important in biological function, but we cannot create non-essential amino acids by ourselves. So we need them from external sources, from external sources. So those, if the non-essential amino acids we can create by ourselves using other resources. That means if the external food does not contain non-essential amino acid, still we will be able to execute the biological functions comfortably, because we can create non-essential amino acids from the other sources and from the other amino acids. But in case of essential amino acids, it must be supplied through the food. I'm taking a break here. Reconnected. So since they are proteins are made up of amino acids, and there are two types of amino acids are out there. One are called as essential amino acids, the other are called as non-essential. Both are important biologically, but essential amino acids we cannot create by ourselves using other sources, so it must be supplied through the food. Non-essential amino acid, we do have a mechanism to create them out of other amino acids and using other resources as well. So that thing defines the quality of food. That things define the quality of food we are having. If your food is made up of a protein having more essential amino acids, that means that protein or that food will be expensive, that food will be better. If your food is made up of protein, but most of those proteins are non-essential, is made up of non-essential amino acids. That means although it is serving the purpose of the protein, but that protein is not better or is not expensive than the other proteins. That is why we can classify different proteins in different ways. And I want you guys to browse and to study the quality of different types of proteins. So why fish meat is better than the chicken meat, why chicken meat is if better than the beef or with the mutton, and what is the difference between these type of proteins. when you are eating corn, जब आप सिट्टा खा रहे होते हैं, you are eating protein, but the sitta is cheaper as compared to the chicken meat. Chicken is so expensive nowadays, and the difference is because of the fact that the corn is carrying the proteins mainly constituting non-essential amino acids. Hope this explains the thing. अभी हमने protein के बारे में और बात करनी है, but I want to listen. What was the question from Izan? Ji, please.
वो सर मैंने वैसे गूगल कर लिया था, सिर्फ यही था सर वो कि वो आपने पहले कहा था कि 20 काइंड्स भी हैं, तो वो फिर बाद में चल गया था वो 20 नेम्स हैं उसके प्रोटीन्स के, और ये टाइप्स हैं.
नहीं, प्रोटीन्स के नेम 20 टाइप्स के अमीनो एसिड्स हैं. लाइक दिस इज अमीनो एसिड नंबर 1, दिस इज 2, दिस इज 3, दिस इज 4. ऐसा करते चले 20 टाइप्स ऑफ अमीनो टाइप्स.
वो मुझे लग रहा था कि प्रोटीन्स की 20 टाइप्स हैं, उसके बाद ये वाली एसेंशियल नॉन एसेंशियल
प्रोटीन्स आर लाइक प्रोटीन्स थाउजेंड्स टाइप्स की हैं. There are different types of protein. Some are doing, some are producing energy. Look at that. Now, some are producing energy. Some are involved in repair function and maintenance. Some are supporting structure like skin, horns, nails, bones, all are protein. Some are involved in transportation, in taking material from one place to another, like hemoglobin present in the oxygen. This is also protein. And taking material from one part of the another. Antibodies, also protein. And the job of the antibody is what? The job of the antibody is to kill any external pathogen coming into our body. So you will wondering that everything is in biology is actually every function is executed by the protein. Whether they are like structurally related function or they are other type of function. For example, they are making structures and they are creating functions. Antibodies, they are killing other microorganisms and diseases. And then they are the muscles we are carrying, which involve in the movement. All proteins. Meat, all protein. Hormones, which controls the overall growth of human being. Many of them are made up of protein. The very famous hormone, which is called as insulin, is made up of protein. And the job of the insulin is to convert the glucose which we are taking through our food. That glucose is converted into glycogen.
Energy.
Glycogen. Glycogen is a polymer. So when we are taking the glucose into our body, we start using that glucose to produce energy. And if we do not need that glucose to produce energy, we store that glucose in the form of glycogen. And that storage requires the conversion of glucose into glycogen. And then we store this glycogen into the muscles and into the liver. Now, the point is that if your body is not able to produce enough insulin, what that means? That means your body will not be able to convert the excessive glucose into glycogen. The excessive glucose will stay into your blood, and that glucose will survive in the blood and started excreting from your urine and started excreting out in the urine as well. It causes a lot of hell of troubles in your body, and that situation is called as diabetes. This is called as diabetes. When you are not producing, somebody is not producing enough insulin. The last but not the least, very important one, proteins are enzymes. Remember, I told you that life is more or less about the metabolic chemical reaction. Life is more about metabolic. One thing is converting into another. The another thing is converting into another one. It is producing energy at the same time. For example, it is producing energy at the same time. The C is converting into D as well as E. The D is connected to another cycle, like it is converting into F, G, H, I, something like that. Life is quite complicated like these circuits. And all these things are chemical reactions. And we have named them like metabolism or metabolic chemical reactions. Each and every chemical reaction required a catalyst. The catalyst in the living system, the catalyst in the living system are called as enzymes. Please remember, each and every metabolic chemical reaction requires a catalyst. So those biocatalysts which are living in the present in the living system are called as enzyme. Without that enzyme, that chemical reaction will not be possible. And all of those enzymes, they are bistructured proteins. Oh my God. So you might be wondering that there is no concept of any chemical reaction within the living system without enzymes. That means without proteins. So without proteins, we cannot imagine any version of life, because they are the functional molecule, they are executing the function of life. So we started feeling it might be more important than the DNA, because everything is done by the proteins. They are creating structures, like they are in the part of bones, in the meat, all the proteins are the feathers, also proteins. So they are wonderful molecules doing wonderful, wonderful things. So different types of proteins are different from each other based on the amino acids, number of amino acids, and the sequence of amino acids. And it is so important. Last example, if you just change one important amino acids from the chain of the protein, that will going to affect the function a lot. Remember, when amino acids connect with each other, that is the important thing. When amino acids connect with each other, they connect with each other with the help of a chemical bond, and this chemical bond is called as a peptide bond. This is called as a peptide bond. If there are two amino acids present in a protein, only two amino acids, it is called as dipeptide. If there are three, they are tripeptide. If there are four, they are called tetrapeptide. If there are many amino acids are present within the protein, it is called as polypeptide. So if it was written somewhere that the proteins are polypeptide molecule, that means they are made up of large number of amino acids. So if you change one amino acid, critically important one amino acid in the sequence, that will going to change the structure of protein, and that will ultimately going to change the function of protein as well. I'm giving you one example. In case of sickle cell anemia, it's a problem of the blood cell. The blood cells are like this, their structure are like this, biconcave in structure. But in case of sickle cell anemia, the shape of the blood cells are like this one. It's like sickle. So they are not able to grab oxygen. The job of the blood cell is to capture oxygen and transport oxygen from one place to another. But this sickle cell is not able to capture or grab the oxygen comfortably. So that baby will be dead because of this problem. And this problem arises because of the error in the genes which encodes or incorporate a wrong amino acid. So I don't remember exactly the number of amino acids over there. There are more than 400, maybe 461, something like that. You can Google it. In the protein called hemoglobin. The hemoglobin contains large number of amino acids. Out of that large number of amino acids, at one place, there should be glutamic acid. There should be glutamic acid is the name of the amino acid. Glutamic acid is replaced with another amino acid called valine. So that valine replaces glutamic acid, and that changes the structure of hemoglobin and the structure of the cell, and the cell will not be able to hold the oxygen, and that baby will be dead definitely, which is carrying this type of mutation. So even the change in one amino acid might be that much lethal. It will going to change the structure and function at all. So that's it from protein, about proteins from my side. Time's up. And if you have any question, please feel free to ask. After my next class, you can catch me as well, or you can ask now. Hope this helps you. Okay, guys? Okay.
Sir, as far as we know that the catalyst speed up the chemical reaction.
Yes.
So here we are talking about catalyst as an essential.
No, it's a good point, Shabash. You guys have, we have studied that catalyst. The job of the catalyst is to enhance the chemical reaction, increase the speed of the chemical reaction. So all those chemical reactions in the metabolism, if you ask me whether they can be executed without catalyst, the answer is yes. They can be executed without catalyst. But when they are executed without catalyst, their speed is nothing Their speed is not enough. Their speed is not the one which is required to execute the function of life. So that will not be life. Life is only possible when those chemical reactions are proceeded in an optimum speed. And for that, they need a catalyst. And that is an enzyme.
Oh, okay, sir.